Howdy, y'all. I've seen a lot of different hi-hat setups throughout the years I've been playing drums, and a lot of people who don't know how to properly set up a hi-hat. So I figured I would show y'all today what that looks like. And I'll tell you why the hi-hat is set up the way it is. Alright, to start off with, here's your bottom hi-hat. This one should be heavier than the top hi-hat. The bottom hi-hat is where your volume comes from, and the top hi-hat is where your crispness and articulation comes from. Okay, moving over to the top hi-hat. So on the underside of your top hi-hat, you've got the main screw that keeps the hi-hat in place, and then under that you have your felt. The felt is there so that you don't have metal touching metal. That'll mess up your cymbal. Now on the top side of the hi-hat, we have the same thing. We have the felt right here, so you don't have metal touching metal. Up here, we've got your wing nut that allows you to adjust higher or lower. Here's the part that most people screw up, is these two little screws right here. Where a lot of people go wrong is they lose this piece. Okay, so they lose that, and then what they do is they take the bottom screw out of these two up here, and they'll put it down here. So they'll do something like this, where now there's only one screw on each end, and that's incorrect. You don't want to do that. Okay, so what the bottom screw here does is it controls how much your top hi-hat moves. So right now I've got it set very loose, right? So if I'm playing a rock beat, by the way, I took my bottom hi-hat off to demonstrate this. So that's pretty loose. And then the more I tighten it, the less loose it will be. And the top screw basically secures the bottom screw into position. So we went from it being pretty floppy to now it's a lot less floppy. So if I tighten this bottom screw, these hi-hats aren't going to really move a whole lot. And if I loosen it, they move a lot more. So play around with how your hi-hats are set up. Figure out if you want them really sloshy or if you want them really tight. The sloshy hi-hats are good for if you're doing an open hi-hat thing. You'll get a lot of response and movement out of them, and you don't have to open them that far. The tight hi-hats are good for if you're going to have a closed hi-hat setup, and you want a super consistent sound. Hope this helped. Good luck.